What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite host and jealous hater Apoc, and welcome back to the channel. So it's pretty common in the anti-family vlog community that we speak out against people who vlog their children and use them for clout. I mean, I think we made that really clear, but it is a true rarity that we actually get someone from the vlogging community who is an actual vlogger, by the way, a pretty well-known one too, to speak up and admit everything that we're trying to bring awareness to. And I'm talking about none other than Cam&Fam, which I have never made a video about her yet, but I figure with her new video called The Dark Side of Family Vlogging, my first-hand experience, it was time to dive deep into her channel, or, you know, at least this video to start. And with all that being said, let's get it.
There's a few things in this life where I just feel like I could talk about them forever. I have a lot to say.
Alright, do go on.
So I figured it'd be fun to come on my channel, make some tea, and just sit down and talk to you guys.
So as in, she's gonna be spilling some tea.
Pick a subject and just rant about it. So that is exactly what we're doing today, and if you guys like this style of video, maybe I'll do more. Tea time with Cam, we'll call it. So I'm gonna make some tea, and then we're gonna get into it. Today I'm gonna be talking about family vlogging as someone who no longer considers myself. I
guess she doesn't consider herself a family vlogger anymore. I don't know a lot about Cam&Fam. I haven't, like I said, I haven't really dived deep into her. Did she quit family vlogging? Gross.
I guess I'll just start by talking about how I got into becoming a family vlogger and how I kind of got put in that box in the first place.
I wonder if it's like the same old story we always hear where people join to be a family vlogger and they didn't know what it could become and they didn't know there was any money in it, but then you like dive into their channel or you hear things later on and it was all baloney.
In 2017, I was pregnant with my first daughter and I was obviously very scared.
Understandably.
And I didn't know what to expect of like just being a teen mom. So I turned where every teen turns to, YouTube.
Which not even just teens do that. You know, when my wife lost our son, that's where she went. She wanted to find people who experienced the same things as she did. And that applies to a lot of people. I think especially women. They want to look for something extremely relatable. I never did that personally myself. I didn't need to go online and to find things relatable to me or find people, find other channels, blah, blah, blah. I didn't need to do any of that. But it's really understandable as someone who loses a baby or somebody who just gets pregnant and needs guidance and to understand what's going on or whatever, you know, it's understandable that you would go searching for something like that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, not at all. I think it's great that there are people out there talking about their experiences, no matter what it is, because other people sometimes need that to help them get through their own when they're going through the same thing. So it's actually a good thing. It can be a bad thing depending on who it is and if they're exploiting it, this and that. But it's not always a bad thing. Just like with family vlogging. I don't think family vlogging is a bad thing. It's people who corrupt it.
And I saw lots of story times of how people got pregnant at a young age and how they told their parents. And there's just a lot of people like sitting down and talking about it.
Again, it's something she's trying to relate to. You know, she may not have had the courage to tell her parents, but because she watched somebody else do it or talk about it and talk about how they overcame that, it helped her to be able to do that herself.
And it helped me a lot to just kind of mentally prepare for it all. So here I am, pregnant and bored. I'm doing online school. I just moved to a new place and I had no friends. And one day I just decided that I would make a YouTube channel.
I mean, there are a lot of people who actually do that. They actually go online to find friends or, again, people that relate to you and maybe even a community. And there is some truth to that. Like with Jess Fam, but she's the biggest child exploiter ever and the most dramatic person on this platform. Originally, because she's an OG YouTuber. She's been on this platform for like 12 years. So when she started, I really don't think that she was in it for the money because there wasn't any money to get. Point is, sometimes there are truths to what these people say.
I decided that I would start making videos about me being a pregnant teenager, mostly because I was bored, but also because I thought it might help other people in that situation too, as it helped me.
Okay, she wanted to help other people because the platform helped her. Makes sense to me.
But my channel was still very much centered around pregnancy and motherhood and little to do with me and who I actually am as a person.
Yeah, a lot of vlog moms start off that way too, which is why it's so hard for them to get out of it when it starts to tank, because family vlogging is starting to go downhill. I think a lot of people are becoming aware and they're also just getting sick of it. You know, I've never been a fan of family vlogging. Don't understand it. If you guys watch it, fine, but For me, I don't get why others would sit down and watch other people live their life while not making your own better. Not saying that everybody who watches vlogging has a crappy life, because no, obviously that's a ridiculous statement. But what I'm saying is that there are people out there who do escape their life by watching these people live theirs, and that's not going to make your life any better. So if that's something that you do, you should just stop doing that and then try to find a way to make your life better. You can even start a family vlog channel. It doesn't matter. As long as you're not using your kids, the kids can be there. As long as you're not exploiting their personal information or their privacy, you're all good. But like I said, all these vlog moms and parents spend years talking about pregnancy and having babies, and then at the end of it, when there's no more babies to pop out, they all of a sudden want to change their content and become more than just a mom. And then that tanks too, because they built their entire name off of being pregnant and having babies.
And honestly, becoming pregnant in the first place before even starting YouTube, it took over a lot of just my personality. It just kind of became who I was.
That is what happens when you have a baby. I mean, I understand some people lose their individuality, but again, choices.
I was like this pregnant girl, and I didn't really feel like I had much of a self-identity outside of that. So I post a few videos, they get like maybe 100 views, along with a lot of hate comments from people that I went to high school with.
Bunch of haters.
And then Colette was born, and she ended up being in the NICU for a while. And while I was in the NICU, that's actually when my first video blew up. No one even knew that I had my daughter yet. I had her early. But yeah, right after she was born, a video titled Day in the Life of a Pregnant Teen just started to get views.
Yeah, teen pregnancy is super popular. That's why they have the show on MTV, right? They have it on MTV or wherever it is, whatever channel, but they have it because it's super popular.
And I remember hitting like 1,000 subscribers and being like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Like, I can't even believe this. I did not think this would happen.
Yeah, it is a crazy feeling when 1,000 people are watching you, and now I'm almost at 6,000. I'm like, whoa, it's a lot of people. That's a lot of eyes.
And it just kept growing, and it didn't stop. A few weeks after she was born, we got settled in back home, and I posted a video just introducing her. And that's definitely when I started to take things more seriously.
Oh yeah, that's the trend we're seeing now, and the trend we always see from vloggers is the birth vlogs, and then like the first day or the day in a life, and then introducing the baby and all that noise. It's literally a pattern with all family vloggers. They all do it.
Not in an aspect of like trying to make money off of it. I mean, I knew that that potentially could happen, but just knowing that there's people watching, I tried to put more effort into it.
Okay, I'm not really too sure about that one, because you took it more seriously. Why? To get more subscribers, to potentially make money, and you knew that you could potentially make money. My guess is that's what you were doing, because you're just doing it to please other people. Makes no sense at all, because they're just a bunch of randoms online. Highly doubt you were doing it for them. Pretty sure you were doing it for your growth and for money.
There was a lot of hate, which at first I was like really upset by.
It's always so funny to me that YouTubers, influencers, vloggers, it doesn't matter who they are, they're all the same. It doesn't matter if they get a million positive affirmations, positive comments from people. If one of them, one person says something negative, and it could literally just be, hey, you suck, they get so utterly butthurt about it. Why is the world full of people that just cannot handle one negative comment?
And then once Landon moved in with my mom, Colette was about 3 months old, the dynamic of the channel just kind of naturally changed.
That's what usually happens. I mean, you're only pregnant for so long, or you only have one baby for so long, and as you grow within your life, your content's going to start to switch up. I mean, vlog moms, when they start out, they usually do the whole pregnancy thing and then eventually have the baby, and then they go from like just like sit down vlogs to actively vlogging their entire life and sharing everything about their life.
It was no longer just my channel about me and my baby. There was 3 of us now, and it definitely started to become more of what people deem to be a family channel.
Like I said, where they start sharing personal things.
And even though Colette was a very tiny baby at that point, the content started to slowly shift from just me talking about motherhood more to me showing Colette.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. They start off with their sit-down videos, and they go from that to start vlogging their life and showing their children, and then diving into deep, personal, intimate things and moments within their life that should not be online at all.
And talking about her and her growth, and just going out and doing things as a family with her, and also about me and Landon and our relationship.
You see, I don't even have an issue with that. The thing is it's a lot more than what she's saying, because they're not just talking about like her kids' growth or their growth. They're actually vlogging it as it's actually happening. If they were just to sit down and talk about it, that'd be a little bit different, but that's not what happens.
Soon after, we did start making money off of YouTube, and we moved out into our own place.
And it happens like that too. They say, oh, we don't start making money right away, guys, and they don't. But within a year's time, they're already buying a new house. And I don't know Cam&Fam's situation, but obviously it probably popped off pretty fast for her, and she's well off right now because of all the content. But some of these vloggers will buy whole ass homes within 2 years after starting vlogging and being extremely young.
And that definitely upped the pressure of like, this isn't just for fun anymore.
I think it was before you bought your home, because she also said that she started taking it seriously after like 1,000 subscribers and was buying different equipment, this and that, whatever, stop using her phone for a camera. So if you start doing that, it's not really for fun anymore, or the fun is starting to trickle down.
You know, this is my job and I need to post these videos in order to pay rent. Because before, I didn't have rent, I didn't have bills. I was living under my parents' roof still. The only thing I had to worry about was buying diapers and formula.
That's what happens to a lot of these teen moms. They never get a chance to actually grow up. So I understand how she felt the pressure of having to pay bills and pay rent and pay for everything else, because she stepped out and became an adult, or just walked into the adult world while never actually having the chance to grow up. She was doing adult things in like a teen mindset.
Which Landon had a job before coming, so we had some money saved. That's the point where the negative comments kind of started to shift from just blatant, like ignorant negativity towards a teen mother just because she's a teen mother, and more to people like getting really invested in like picking apart my life and my mistakes.
That's something you need to expect online. That's just online in general, although I don't agree with nitpicking people's lives. I know there are some people that will say that I nitpick people's lives, but I actually don't do that. I only talk about really serious things, and sometimes there are videos that don't really matter, but I never nitpick someone's life. I don't go through house tour videos. There is always a point to my videos, even if they're not that serious.
And I feel like there's a huge difference between the two, between someone just making an ignorant hate comment versus people making an informed hate comment about my life.
What's an informed hate comment? Is she talking about criticism? I hope it's not criticism, because criticism is not hate. She said informed hate. What is informed hate?
Picking apart the dynamic between me and Landon, picking apart the way I talk about motherhood, and just trying to frame me as a bad mom and a bad person, and really just attacking my character.
That sounds like it's more ignorant. What's she talking about? People are saying that you're a bad mother, but you know you're not. That is ignorance, right? I just don't understand what she meant by informed hate. Informed means you're informing people of something, you're giving information. Like I said, I don't understand.
At the time, I was still really new to it, and I just really started to internalize it, and it started to change the way that I made content.
It always baffles me because, like I said, these people let these comments, one comment get to them. Well, they have thousands of comments giving nothing but positive affirmations, but that one comment, man, that one just gets to them. But why would you let that get to you so much that you change your content to please them? Because all that's going to do is turn the other people away, because you're changing things up, while also probably claiming that the hate comments don't get to you. Vloggers and influencers do it all the damn time. They say that the jealous haters don't get to them, but in fact, they actually do. And so much so, apparently, that it made Cam change her content.
Before, I was just showing our lives and who we are, and just, it was more genuine. And then over time, I started to really think about, what are people gonna think about this? What are people gonna say about this?
You know, that's the toxicity of the internet. She let them get to her so much so that she changed her content for them. But here's the thing, you can't please everybody. So even if you please those same people, you're not gonna please everyone else, especially when you built your platform on being genuine, right? So you're just gonna piss off all the people who thought you were genuine, maybe just to please a dozen people.
And there's certain things when filming where it's like, oh, can't put that in the video. Stupid little things that people have no good reason to pick apart, but they will.
Well, who cares then? Fuck them. If they say you're a bad mom, but you know you're not one, why care? Why let it get to you? Doesn't make any sense.
I just wanted so desperately to prove everyone wrong, to prove that I was a good mom, to prove that I was a good spouse.
It's just so hard for me to get in that mindset. I cannot imagine just trying to prove something to someone. Like, I don't need to prove to anyone that I'm a good partner or a good father. I don't need to prove it to them because I know it, right? And if you don't like what they're saying, you can do a couple of things. You can tell them to go kick rocks and shove it, or I don't know, block them.
So I worked hard to portray this image for the sole purpose of being liked.
That's also something I just don't understand. Trying to be liked by people. Look, I'm even liked by a lot of people, and I'm not even talking about on YouTube. I'm talking about in real life. Like, I'm liked by a lot of people, and I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why, and I don't even care. I don't want to be liked by people. I don't like people because of things they've done. And so this girl is saying that she wanted the people who are leaving hate comments to like her. I don't live my life around other people.
And when I look back, I'm like, I was a 17-year-old mom with a lot of pressure put on me to provide, to post on time, to share so much with the world.
Okay, I'll agree that you're pressured, but to be real, it is pressure that you put on yourself. You are the one that started the YouTube channel. You're the one that moved out. You're the one that decided that you want to start paying bills. That is all co-signed pressure. So you signed up for that. No one else forced it on you. I understand being a teen, how she sees it differently, and maybe she realizes it now. I don't know. But the point is, it's all about choices and what you do. And she co-signed on all those things that she is now complaining about. Again, I don't know if she realizes this now. She could just be speaking from her past self. I don't know. But it's all about choices.
To figure out this new dynamic of we're both parents. How do we parent together? How do we live together? It was my first time living on my own. And there was just so much on my plate at once, especially for a 17-year-old.
And that's why it's always good to have guidance, especially with big boy choices like that.
And I'm like, of course I wasn't perfect. If you put any 17-year-old in that position, they will not handle it perfectly. They're gonna make mistakes.
Teenagers are gonna make mistakes, especially when they're trying to dabble in the adult world. They're gonna make mistakes because they're not even adults yet. Their brain hasn't developed and they can't make these decisions, you know, rationally. She moved out in the teen mind, and I understand how she felt the pressure from that. Absolutely, you know, I completely agree with what she just said. No teenager is going to handle that. In fact, some adults to this day can't even handle that.
And deep down, like, I knew that. I knew I wasn't perfect. I knew I wasn't a perfect parent, but I felt like as long as I was perceived that way, as long as I was projecting an image of perfection, that was good enough for me to feel all right.
Man, that is just a toxic mindset. And again, I'm not hounding her for thinking that way. She was young and that's what she wanted. But it's just so weird that she wanted to push out this perception of people just to be liked. She pushed out the idea that she's a perfect mom just to be liked, or for her to feel like she was a perfect mom. But again, no judgment. Like, I'm not judging her for that because she's a young girl, has babies, a lot of pressure put on her. I can't even fathom what that felt like because, for one, I'm a guy. And secondly, when I had my children, I was a full-blown adult. Not that there's not any pressure on adults, obviously, but it is way different because it's an adult thing to have a child, and you can handle that as an adult, especially with the adult mindset. But she was very young, and she's trying to handle adult things as a child.
Enough to get that external validation of people telling me I'm doing a good job. So to have more of that and less of the hate comments, at the time I was okay to sacrifice my authenticity for that.
Yep, and a lot of content creators do that. You know, they'll start off a certain way. They'll start off genuine, you know, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, some do. They'll start off genuine, and then they'll change themselves because it makes more money. I mean, you can chalk that up to the Dad Challenge podcast. Originally, you know, he spoke out against Micah Stauffer and what she did, and okay, that's fine. But then, you know, look at him now. There ain't nothing genuine about that guy.
But the more I perpetuated this image of we're a happy, functioning family, we're the teen parents who are doing it right, the further I projected that when that just simply wasn't the truth, I didn't know what I was doing, the more people started to kind of point it out. Something feels off. You don't really feel as genuine anymore.
Yeah, it's exactly like I said. When they change up their content to please other people or to please the algorithm, you know, for views, for clout, to make more money, what happens is people are aware of that and they see that and go, whoa, this person is not the same person that I originally followed. I cannot tell you how many people say that about KK and Baby J or OK Baby or Just Fam. People are just tired of this because all these vloggers do the same thing. She's literally just admitted to giving up her authenticity for clout.
And it was a slow, progressive thing, and people started to point it out more and more as time went on. But it was hard because other people were like praising this version of myself that I was portraying.
And that really sucks for your original fan base, the people who originally subbed to you and been with you since day one or very early on, because some of them will feel betrayed or backstabbed because you changed for other people who came later on because you wanted to please them. And like I said, the algorithm for money and clout. And when you do that, you did change. You definitely did change. And, you know, I think she's literally telling us that she's aware of that, which is great, which is why I do want to believe her in this. You know, like I said, we don't know, but I definitely do want to believe that she's telling us the truth here. And she very well may be.
So while I'm out here filming this happy family content, behind the scenes, things are just getting worse and worse.
Oh yeah, I bet they were.
My mental health is in a horrible place. I've lost who I really am in trying to be perfect. Landon's mental health isn't doing great either. I was a lot better at hiding it and picking up the camera even when we were upset, even when we were fighting.
I mean, just imagine that. Just wanting to like people or give out the perception or try to make money, and while you're going through all that, and we know this happens to a lot of other vloggers. We know that's the reality. But imagine doing all that and then just turning off the camera and life is all hell. Like, I wouldn't want to live like that. I would put down the camera and try to figure out my shit before continuing on. Because to be honest, I don't want my life to be crappy at home and pretend that everything is Gucci. Like, I'm not like that. I'm not like that at all. I don't care about the perception.
And looking back, I don't regret much in life, and I try not to dwell on it because I've forgiven my past self for the way that I was. Everything I was doing was in this deep-rooted insecurity of just wanting to be loved and accepted. And I think the more my life went downhill, the more I threw myself into YouTube.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. People cope in weird ways. They go through stuff and their experiences in life, and then they throw themselves into something, work or hobbies, or I guess in her case, vlogging.
It was how I was coping. It's almost as if I wanted to live in that fantasy of we're just this normal, happy, perfect family.
Imagine editing that video. Imagine sitting there after you pretend to be happy in this big loving family, and you're sitting there editing your life as hell, and you're watching yourself pretend to be happy while literally being unhappy. I mean, that is just not the life to live at all. Like, at all.
And I posted 3 videos a week. So that's 3 days out of the week, going out, filming, picking every little detail of the video apart, trying to make everything perfect, staging everything perfectly.
Yeah, that's one thing that vloggers do. They stage stuff. I mean, especially OK Baby. They'll literally like set a camera down in their driveway and then pull up, like as if they didn't pull up, set the camera down, back up the truck or whatever car, and then pull up again. It's just, the staging with vlogging is insanity. These people are so incredibly fake. And here's Cam&Fam literally proving that she was being fake. At least she's admitting it though. At least she's telling the truth.
Moving all my stuff under my bed so it was out of the shot. I just felt like I was always running around, like perfecting every detail. And then I spent every other day after filming replaying the same day over again, editing it, making sure it's as perfect as it can be. It's all polished and nice.
That just sounds horrible, mundane and boring.
Picking the perfect thumbnail, picking the perfect title, and posting it, and then spending hours reading the comments.
That's just something you don't do. You don't sit there and read the comments, especially since you cannot take comments. You don't sit there and read all the hate comments that you cannot take. That's just so counterproductive because she's just like seeking this validation from all these people who like hate her basically or are jealous of her. I don't know.
Seeking approval and almost even seeking negativity. Like if there was a negative comment, I had to see it.
What? That's so weird. Why do you want to see negativity? That just reminds me of Karen Swan when she claimed that she read negative comments to piss her off to like punish herself. Anyways, all you jealous haters, that's about it. I was gonna do this video all in one, but I didn't realize how extremely long it was or how long it would take to do some commentary over it. But man, this one's a pretty big video. But I guess that's it for now. Sub to the channel if you're new. Like the video if you enjoyed it. If you don't, well, that's your loss. I'm a pretty cool guy, or I give out the perception of that. I don't know. But I should be putting out part 2 within the next like day or so. Okay, bye.